everybody. Hey, welcome to the front row. We are here at a very busy Universal Orlando Resort. This is as busy as I have ever seen it. Like, at least since they've reopened. Ever is ridiculous. That's ridiculous. It is definitely the busiest it has been since I've been here since they've reopened. I mean, look. Yeah, it's pretty busy. But we're trying to have fun. We'll be here a couple hours, 2 hours. Just kind of see what's up, what's popping, what's cracking. If there's anything that I see that's interesting, I heard there's some new plants hanging out in Production Central over at Universal. So we're going to head over there first, just simply because it is early in the morning. Early. 10:30. Earlier than we would usually come, and the crowds are a little heavier waving in, so we're going to go over to studio side and see what we could do over there. We do have a Hagrid ride for $12.40 to $110, which might end up being just about the last thing we do before we head out, but come along and have a little fun here. Universal Orlando Resort. Horror Nights little kiosk here at City Walk outside of studios here. Some really cool, interesting stuff. There's those Jack masks. There's also another mask that is the 30 Years, 30 Fears one, which is, you know, kind of like the Universal Monsters logo, but with the icons. So we're gonna go inside and see if there's some more stuff, because all we saw was that Jack mask there, and I really like the 30 Years, 30 Fears mask. So we're trying to find that one too. So see you guys on the other side in Production Central. Yeah, the crowd density in front of Universal Studios is significantly less than it was at City Walk, or definitely waiting to go through security. That was an absolute circus today. Warning, warning, warning. It was absolutely packed and crazy, and while weaving through 100 different things, hello Universal Studios, we have returned. Let's go some fun. Not too bad as far as crowd level at the gate. We'll see. Waited longer to get into the park than I have for most rides as of late, so hopefully I get to get on something today. We got our Hagrid quickie. We should be able to get on that. But other than that, I'm really interested to see kind of what the park feels like on a day that feels very, very busy. Yeah, for sure, definitely one of the busier days that we've been here since they've reopened. But then again, there are checkpoints in the park, and this just happens to be one of those checkpoints here in front of Shrek, in between Shrek and Minions here. Seems to be a severe choke point. But it looks like all these trees have kind of got new painting around, and the trees look nice and pretty. It looks green again down here in Production Central, which is nice. Very, very nice to see greenery again. But goodness gracious, guys, look at the crowd. I am both very happy for this and kind of bummed. I'm very happy because I want to see, I want to see the park busy and pop in and get all these people back to work and everybody kind of get back to a new form of normal. But man, did I love not waiting in line for stuff. That was the best. Well, we're gonna kind of weasel our way around here. See what there is to do. I'll check in with you if and when we find something worth showing you. Yeah, we are staring on the barrel of 60-minute waits on everything on this side. I'm glad that we got our Hagrid virtual too. Otherwise, there was no way in hell I was going to be able to ride like anything. So it is nice to know that at least we're going to get on Hagrid, which is one of, if not my favorite ride here. So we're going to the Universal store right now because we went to go try to see if we could jump on something, and that ain't happening right now. So we're going to go to the Universal store and look for that the other mask, the 30 Years, 30 Fears mask, or maybe some other horror movies. I'll let you know if we get it. So the pass holder lunch isn't open yet. They open at 11, and the line has stretched around the block. Low key, they're not doing it correctly. Just go over to the store at Toon Lagoon. You don't have to wait in a ridiculous long line. I don't understand. But I guess since they're already over here, I guess. But staying in a long line like that on a day like this where it's kind of hot, no thank you. No thank you. SpongeBob coming out. Got his pineapple. Gary going around in circles. And yes, if you did not know, a handful of Universal attractions are closed currently, I believe starting today. One of which is Fast and the Furious Supercharged. This one really confused me. It's a newer attraction. Now granted, I know that it's no good and nobody likes it and it never has a line, but you'd think a newer attraction they'd want to keep that one open, but I guess it has a large staff. It's rather expensive to run, so they decided this was one of them that they were going to shut down after we stop at Diagon Alley for a treat. Show you another one. And I'm going to try to do this from memory because I don't want to take my phone out of my pocket. See how good my memory is. The attractions that close temporarily starting today are Fast and the Furious Supercharged, Kang and Kodo's Twirl and Hurl, which is like the Dumbo ride at The Simpsons, A Day in the Park with Barney, which was his live sing-along Barney show, Poseidon's Fury at Islands of Adventure, which that one kind of stings. I didn't want that one to go. And there's a good possibility that one might not open again because there's been rumors of that attraction closing for years. Maybe doing it by memory wasn't the best idea? Hold on one second. So, hold on. The attractions are Day in the Park with Barney, Kang and Kodo's Twirl and Hurl, Fast and Furious Supercharged, Fear Factor. That's what it was. I didn't remember Fear Factor because I thought they had already announced something about it closing for good. Poseidon's Fury and Storm Force Accelatron, which if you don't know is Universal Studios' teacup ride. So they've essentially just closed all these attractions because they didn't have the crowd levels to warrant it. But if I believe if crowd levels continue the way they are right now, like today, we're not going to have an issue. That, without a doubt, that this is the busiest day I've seen so far. But yeah, they closed down all those rides. Universal did say in a press release that they were going to move the team members that worked at those attractions to other attractions. So at least people aren't losing work over it, which is nice. But it still stinks to have to, shut down anything. Specifically, theme park attractions, and a theme park that's kind of hurting for attractions right now because, well, things are under construction or the crowd levels aren't high enough to warrant it. So, but I see good news today. I wouldn't say packed, but it would be. If you have not been to the theme parks and you have seen photos and stuff of the theme parks, today is packed. It's as busy as I've seen it. And from everything I saw on the app yesterday was very similar. So, all right, walking through the streets of London town. Going into Diagon Alley. Look at ourselves a little treat. A little treaty treat. Wow, it is. Where's everybody? Everybody said all the other parts of the park, and nobody's over here. I mean, I'm not complaining. Do I look like I'm complaining to you? I'm not complaining. I'm digging this. Diggity, diggity. Ooh. Looking for treats and snacks. And snacks and treats. What shall we get here in Diagon Alley? Hey, don't step on my shoe off camera, guys. Stepping on my shoe. I love it so much in here, you guys. I could literally just hang out here all day and not ride anything. I'd be perfectly fine. This, especially specifically like Diagon Alley, I prefer Hogsmeade as a land as far as the rides and stuff, but nothing beats the atmosphere of Diagon Alley. I mean, so look at the details over here. Look above him, right there. The way that those houses aren't exactly perfect, and kind of the bendy architecture of Gringotts. It is stuff like this everywhere. That's super cool. Every window. I love Diagon Alley so much. It is my favorite Wizarding World land. But I think we may have reached our destination. Let us go get a treat. Couple of no-melt ice creams. The sugar quill. These are essentially just frosting. But they look really cool, huh? And they got like candies and stuff in them. The kid got a chocolate one, so I'll turn the chocolate to chocolate. I got the vanilla one. So, let's try this. Oh, well, this is something else. I'm just going to have to go in. Here, go on in. That is definitely frosty. It's very good though. It's very good. Very, very good. So essentially it's just frosting, but it's really good. Like, it's good frosting. Word of warning, because it is just frosting. Super sweet. Super sweet. And I did not know where they were, just to let you know. They're not at the ice cream parlor here. Those no-melt ice creams. Those no-melt ice creams are actually at the candy shop that's attached to Weasley's Wizard Weezers. This is the first time I've even got close to saying that right. Yay! But yeah, they're actually at the candy shop by Weasley's, so if you want them, I suggest they're not bad. For two of them and a candy flow is like $14, so theme park prices, but not bad. Get an opportunity to go over there. It's fun. It's cool. It's a little magical. I approve. The other ride, aside from Fast and Furious on this side that is closed, is right here, the old Twirl and Hurl, which is just Dumbo with the Simpsons theming on it. But it's pretty fun. I don't mind it. But that's closed. Nobody will be manning that. And I think that's the only other ride on this side that's closed. Again, like I said, Dana Park and the Barney closed, but it's not a ride, it's a musical show. Whew. It's so hot, the sweat is just like ripping my mask off my face. But we're gonna, I don't know, kind of wander through Central Park maybe, see what there is to see. But there is to see. See, walking through Springfield here, it's a little more like what I expect Springfield to be as far as crowd levels. Nothing crazy, but still fairly crowded. Everyone's kind of on top of each other a little bit. And DeLorean action. You guys couldn't hear it over Mr. Bumblebee Man's taco truck. They heard a little steam letting off, but that was from the Mr. Fusion right there. If you guys look, I don't know if you can see it, all the lights and stuff are on and working in there. Oh, it's doing stuff. It's making noises. One of my favorite movies of all time, the original Back to the Future. Great, great movie. They also have the train from Back to the Future 3 here. I've always wondered, if they have the train here from Back to the Future 3, and they have the DeLorean, why don't they have the flying DeLorean? Now granted, that specific one with the Mr. Fusion on it was from Back to the Future 2, so I guess I'm realizing as I'm speaking that they don't have the original Back to the Future Part 1 DeLorean here. They have a vehicle from Part 2 and a vehicle from Part 3, but no Part 1. I've been coming to this park for almost 20 years. How is that the first time I figured that out? The more you know. Get through all this. It's already pretty much time for us to kind of meander over to Island View, and you're right, everything over here, the line's too long, it's too crowded. But this is an excellent opportunity for us to kind of get out of the house, exercise, keep me a girlish figure. We're going to head on over to Islands, it looks like. Get ready for a hybrid ride. Maybe ride something over there. Maybe there's something over there where they're short enough ways. Let's see. Well, we'll see you guys on the other side. Head on to adventure. Man, it's hot.
Megatron! Ready for pictures with Megatron?
Megatron out here taking pictures with folks. Not standing in line for you, Mega. No, they don't like you. Yes, you're evil. It's hot outside. You fundamentally have political differences. You want to crush. What am I talking? You're not Megatron. Man, it's hot. It's blowing my brain. Sometimes I ask myself, why the hell do you live in Florida?
Myself?
I say to myself, I said, Self, shut up. You have air conditioning at home. I go, all right, I get you. But still, some days it's just like, it's like Mother Nature is intentionally mocking you at how hot it is and how sticky and muggy it is. But we're going to head over to Island, see what there is to see over there. You guys on the other side. Sneaking through the Universal store. Because, man, just having, a few extra seconds of air conditioning is so nice. Another tip, if you're going to be here, use every opportunity you can to walk through the shops or run of the shops. We're doing a little bit of, we're weaving, we did it, I did it. We made it. Oh, back into the miserable, back into the miserable, oh my glasses just fogged up. Ooh, that's better. Like I said, going over to Universal Studios out into adventure. Getting a hybrid ride and maybe see if there's anything for Velocicoaster or anything like that. but I needed this permanent testing on the other side. A terrible device. The crowd level around noontime and port of entry isn't too bad. I mean, it's fairly regular. This is more or less what we have been dealing with, just because of the way that this park is built. You're going to have a little bit tighter crowds anyway, which I was a little bit concerned with when we were heading over here, but it seems, at least for the moment, like it's not actually too bad. And we do have a virtual line for Hazard coming up at 12:40. And I was just kind of seeing what's happening. Folk going by, people having a good time. Looks like the only ride at the park really with less than a 30-minute wait I found the app was Cat in the Hat, but Cat in the Hat, that was a 5-minute wait.
Down to 10. Up to 10.
We'll head out to the U.S. and see if I can get a, decent shot at Velocicoaster. At least see how much has actually changed. Not much of an update for this video. My next video that I put out, I'm going to do a much deeper dive of an update. But I don't know if you can see with my new camera, because it can't zoom. It's been way more sizing on that building. We have lights coming out of what looks like a launch tunnel or the brake run. It does look like there's some significant changes. At this point, track isn't what we're looking for, because we've seen a bunch of the track be laid down. It's how far along they are with the building. Because as soon as they finish the load station and the show buildings and get the train barn and all that taken care of, should start seeing trains move around. Like I said, that's pretty much going to do it for Velocicoaster in this video. I'll put out another video that's coming up with more Velocicoaster updates, but today's just kind of more about what crowd levels are looking like, because we've seen it was a pretty steady increase, and then all of a sudden it looked like this weekend it really spiked. So, kind of looking at what a busier day in the new normal for Universal looks like. Kind of a little crazy here today, I'm going to be honest. Kind of a little crazy. Something I don't normally see, but inside of one of these comic Toon Lagoon gift shops, they're playing old Betty Boop cartoons. That's super cool. I guess I never even noticed that those screens were there, let alone that they play cartoons. If I'm the last person to find out, I'm sorry. I'm usually the last person to find out, I just thought that was cool. Stopped in here to get our pins and magnet, and that was really neat. I've never seen that before. It's a new magnet. Kind of like E.T., Jaws, where we got Men in Black, and then up there, it's Jurassic Park. That's pretty cool. Pretty neat little magnet. And then the pin is Segapod from Men in Black. That's super cool. Super cool. Those are the pin and magnet set.
Let's be frank. Our favorite man in black is a pug.
You heard the lady. Walking past Dudley there into what I guess is technically Jurassic Park, but it's not Jurassic Park yet. Skull Island, this first section. But another one of these choke points I was talking about earlier, where it just seems to be just more crowded. But, you know, expected. The crowd levels are baffling to me, but that's probably because I haven't seen crowd levels like this in, I don't know, almost a year. I think last time we were here when it was busy like this was, Grinchmas, maybe? It's just weird to see crowds at the park again. Good, but still, it's going to take some getting used to. definitely something that off-camera wife, as soon as we got here, was very uncomfortable with the amount of people. But as long as you do what you're supposed to do, maintaining distance, everybody seems to be, for the most part, being, behaving themselves today and leaving their masks on. So
Entry is scared.
It's just that crowded entrance there with everybody packed up on top of each other to go through security. They're doing the best they can. I don't know of a better solution for it than they have. So just be mindful if you do come on a busy day. It's going to be a bit of a maze to get to security, and then it's probably going to be a headache getting through security. Just because of the crowd levels. Nothing that Universal or security is doing. They're doing the best they can. It's just with more people comes, longer waits, more frustrations. Throw more eggs in the basket, and eventually, they're going to end up with some rotten ones. It's the same thing that comes with large groups of people anyway. Yeah, we're walking through Jurassic Park, heading over to Hogsmeade. See what's up. Get you a good look at what I'm looking at right here.
Apparently there's a water fish here that was just added.
The walk work on Velocicoaster is flying along. That is super, super cool. They've got the mesh up there. It looks like around another one of those pillars that they're going to end up putting the rock work onto. Yeah, it looks like the coaster barn is mostly, if not entirely, complete. So that's good. And again, that rock work is so cool. That rock work is so cool, guys. Cannot wait to be here next spring to show you that one. Hopefully I get an invite from Universal. Shouldn't be too difficult to get one. Media day. That'd be nice. Looking at you, Universal. Hook a brother up. Oh yeah, you can tell it's busy. It says it's a 10-minute wait for a raptor encounter, but I tell you right now from that line, it's more like a 35-minute wait. But, it is what it is. You never met a raptor before. Very, very cool. And still just kind of absorbing what it's like being in the park with crowds again. Ever since they've been reopened, I've been riding rides with no wait and not see anybody for the rest of the day, but today is the first day I've actually seen it, like, properly busy. That's crazy. So we're going to head on to Hogsmeade, show you guys on the other side. Currently, this is my view going into Hogsmeade. Right here, we haven't had much movement on that. That's actually going to be the new locker area for Forbidden Journey. But it hasn't really gotten much farther on head into Hogsmeade. I'll let you get a peek at Hogsmeade, because if it's anything like Diagon Alley, which it probably won't be, it won't be so bad. Diagon Alley was shockingly easy to get through. So doesn't usually end up being the case for Hogsmeade, but we'll see. Welcome to Hogsmeade. I'm welcome. Oh, 40-minute wait for Forbidden Journey. Ew. Busy day, busy day, busy day, busy day. Let's take a little peek around Hogsmeade. See what there is. Yeah, this is about what I expected coming through here. It's not bad. Honestly, I've been in here with players, but yet again, starting to get those lines for 3 broomsticks. We gotta eat there eventually. We've been really skeptical to eat there because offspring of her wife is gluten-free, and I'm just afraid that if she eats something there, she might get sick. So we're trying to be really, really careful. We're currently going out of Hogsmeade because we got a little bit of time left before Hagrid, but not much, like 10 minutes or so. But this is you have to come in this way and then go into Hogsmeade to get on to Hagrid when the virtual queue is up. Which is weird because I have seen, as of late, people were saying something along the lines of Hagrid is standby only, but it is fairly busy today, so maybe that's why it's virtual line only? Is that they're busy? Maybe. Sorry for the change, but I'm actually on my phone now. We got in line 12:41 for Hagrid on a fairly busy day. So I think we're gonna have a little bit of a wait. I'm really interested to see what it is. So we were literally backed up to the archway at the front. So it's an interesting little idea. I'll get to you at the end. It's 12:41 we got in line. Hopefully we don't have to wait too long. Line seems to be moving pretty good, so cross your fingers. See you on the other side.
Slight delay in processing. Our apologies. We should be ready to go shortly. Thank you for your patience.
So we'll take that into account when we actually figure out how long we waited in line. But I don't know. I don't like that lady's voice when that happens, I tell you that. For being here waiting 6.5 hours for this thing, I do not like that lady's voice. We'll check in with you afterwards. So, 35 minutes. It's a 35-minute wait. Even with the shutdown, it just went down real fast. It like said that it was broken, and then it wasn't broken anymore. So it seemed to me like to be the equivalent of, unplugging it, plugging it back in. It's a little more complicated for a ride like this, but that's essentially what happened. So, about 35 minutes. Even with a delay, on a day this busy, I'll take it. Not too bad. That's actually very, very good. Let's go get our stuff out of the locker. Kind of do a little bit of a lap, and probably head out. It's very, you see how the sun's beating down on me. Going to the locker, get my camera out, have a little bit higher quality. Just wanted you guys to know that it's only about a 35-minute wait, even on a busy day like this, if I could get one. So, not too bad. Okay, take that back. When I put my GoPro in the locker, I left it on. We were in line for like 35 minutes. So it was on for like 35 minutes. And now it's dead. And the genius didn't think to bring the other battery that I have. That's on me. So the rest of the video is going to be on my phone. This will be fun to edit, figure out how this looks together. I'm sure it'll be great. But currently walking through the last little bit of the Lost Continent, which I believe is referred to as Sinbad's Bazaar. There's all the shops, stuff. Coming up on the right side is probably my favorite restaurant on Universal property outside of City Walk. It would be Mythos. And on the left, a temporarily closed attraction, hopefully temporarily closed, Poseidon's Fury. But it's all chained off. This temple is sealed, all tours suspended until further notice. It's odd, but I guess that's kind of the way they're wording it on other attractions, so I guess that works. Hopefully this one reopens, man. This one's been on the chopping block for a long time. Lots of rumors about this one going, about losing this cool temple here, but pretty sure by the end of this month, I think that we'll see a spike in attendance. If today is anything to go by, through all these attractions, it'll be reasonable to reopen them. It's just costing them too much money currently to keep them open, so that's why they're closing these. They are the less popular attractions that cost them more money. But it's kind of weird to see Poseidon just kind of empty. You know what I mean? Oh well. We'll take a walk, see what else we can see. Alright guys, it looks like that's gonna be about it for us. Hopefully I can edit this together with some form of continuity that makes sense. We are headed out, headed home. Get out of this heat. Remember, be excellent to each other. And the front row is always worth the wait.